to go over small market cap coins. I have these in the description below. I gotta add these up here. I wanna wait for a few people to get online. I was sorry for some of the IT issues that I was having a little bit earlier. I was trying to just get this whole thing set up, so bear with me one sec here. But I'm gonna put these links in this video here right now for you guys. So bear with me one sec while I load this up. If you're watching this after the fact, you're gonna have to get used to fast forwarding through some of my live streams as I'm just messing with some things. So if I hit a dead spot, you may wanna just fast forward like a minute or so. I got that all saved up. Okay, so that should be in the description below now. So you guys can load that up. And basically I'm gonna go over my picks in this kind of market that I'm looking at right now. So if you were watching my stream yesterday, you were seeing that I was going over all of the coins in the, let's see here. Let that focus. Oh. Just waiting for it to focus, come on. Well, apologies. It's just taking a sec to zoom in on, there we go. Yeah, it doesn't do all that well sometimes with the computer screen. So we were looking at 80 through 100. And Funfair, Smart Cash, so there was really not a whole lot of movement here recently, but basically these are the coins that we were going over the other day, and this inverse market cap market that we're looking at. And so what I wanted to do today was I wanted to go over basically 61 through 80. So starting with Pivx, Quash, Golem, Zcash, and kind of going through some of my picks. And so if you see in the description below, I was kind of going through some of them, and if you'll see a little bit of a trend, my top five, three of the top five were privacy coins. So you're looking at Pivx, you're looking at Z Classic, and Aeon. So some of the other coins, they may have privacy elements to them. They might have like dark send features. They might have some ways to keep things anonymous. I'm just kind of going by, to my best knowledge, how I understand the coins. I'm looking at those as privacy coins, at least in the way the information has been presented to me. You guys can kind of make your own determinations. I'm going to go through a few of the websites that I thought that were pretty interesting in some of these projects. But in terms of where I'm looking at the market, when I'm kind of looking at in that range, say you want to take a Bitcoin, you kind of want to split it up into some of these different projects, and how you would you know, basically look to diversify in some of these coins that really are, you know, kind of in the preliminary stages of really taking off in the market. And you're seeing quite a few of them getting some pretty positive movement today. One in particular is Dent, which is actually, it looks like more like a wireless platform. And what's interesting to note as well is typically when you follow some of these coins, you follow some of the volume, you follow some of the activity, you have a little bit of a better idea of kind of what's going on in the market and where there's opportunity. So for instance, you know, say there's a lot of movement in one particular coin in one exchange, that would be a good time to get into one of the other exchanges that's offering that same coin, and basically just rolling through you know, arbitrage opportunities to kind of, you know, make a little bit of a return that way. So that's something that I'm kind of looking at doing. But the coins I thought were the most interesting were those three in terms of my top five, and Quash and Golem. So what was interesting is I didn't really know much about Quash, and so I kind of wanted to look at this because I thought it was kind of interesting when I started digging a little bit deeper into it. It's very Chinese in terms of, let's see if I can just bring this up here. Bear with me one sec. So it goes by this Liquid Plus. It's got kind of a nice infograph here. And there's a little bit of, I'm going to sign up for something here. And if we take a look at, let's take a look at the market here real quick. And coin market activity. It's some of these coins are a little bit, you know, they're only offered in maybe, you know, a few exchanges. But this one, when you're looking at the volume, it's all in Huobi. So that's, you know, almost 5 million trading in the last 24 hours in Huobi. Here's a Japanese exchange. Bitfinex, Huobi, Bitfinex, this coin, coin one. So this is Asian, and you're seeing a pretty good distribution between these two exchanges. And when you kind of, you know, skimming through the website, I guess this was one that was translated. When I first pulled this up, see if I can bring this back. I'll first open this. I guess it was all like, you know, in Chinese calligraphy when I first pulled it up. I think it translated everything automatically. But it's traded quite a bit in Asia. And if you know me, I like to see some of the markets where there's a lot of activity in Asian exchanges, because as soon as they start getting into, you know, maybe some of the larger, like, you know, really the one lately has been Binance, because Binance has a lot of distribution, a lot of different coins. Once it gets listed there, you start to see it open up to like Bittrex, to Poloniex, and the coin can really spread in the market. It allows other people to get into the coin that maybe don't have accounts in some of these smaller exchanges. So for a lot of people, they don't have a Huobi account. If you want to get into this and you're American, honestly, I don't see a whole lot of opportunities to get into it. Maybe this Gate.io, I gotta look a little bit into that. But the only exchange that I have an account with is Ether Delta. So it might give you an opportunity, because some of these other exchanges, I haven't tried this Japanese exchange, perhaps they'll let you get in, some of them, if you get into some of these smaller markets. But I guess that's another thing to look into, because the other one, Golem, this project's been around quite a while, and they're basically branding themselves as a worldwide supercomputer. And this is kind of what they're, how they're marketing themselves, at least. And so if we want to take a look, I'll take a look at the market here a little bit in Golem. It's up 18% today. This one's a little much easier to get into, especially in the Ethereum. It's traded on a lot of different Ethereum pairs. Huobi, Bittrex, Poloniex, Liqui. A lot more opportunity. OKEX, Cryptopia. Much easier to get into this one. Let me check in with the chat for a little bit. Where am I living now? I am in Saigon, so I like it here. I'm all getting set up. Just got my computer set up here, so I've got a little bit of a trading station. I'm gonna hook up this other computer here. I need to get like a proper desk and whatnot, but yeah, this is kind of what I'm setting up. I'm gonna put like a desk. I got all the boxes and everything kind of over there, but I need to, I'm gonna set up like a desk back here and basically turn this whole thing into kind of like a studio. I don't really like this wallpaper, so I'm gonna do something about that. But But yeah, it's cheap here. You know, there's a lot of security guards here as well, so I like that. It's very safe. I go outside and I buy sandwiches like on the corner stores, the little kind of corner market there, and I have breakfast for about 60 cents. So it's super cheap. I get like these little sandwiches, these little French baguette sandwiches with eggs, fish, cucumbers, vegetables, and parsley and little secret sauce. And it's I get like 2 of them, and it's like 60 cents. So it's a great deal. Yeah, the wallpaper here is like very, I don't know, 70s, 80s. I don't know. It's not my style though. So now what I wanted to do was go a little bit more in depth into some of these coins and just looking at the market and kind of what we've seen lately. Starting with the first one that I really like, this is probably number 1 on my list of the coins that I'm going over today would be PIVX. You've seen really, healthy activity in the market in terms of its overall value has really started to climb. This one was only really traditionally being held in Bittrex. So all this time that it was trading down in here, and you saw it really rise in value, but that was all in Bittrex. All of the trading was in Bittrex, all the valuation. It's really grown since that time. It's 373 billion or 373 million in terms of its market cap, and it's being offered in a lot of different exchanges: Binance, Bittrex, Upbit, which is, this Korean exchange, has been pumping out a ton of volume. Cryptopia, Yobit, Coin Exchange, Livecoin. So a lot more exchanges that you're able to pick up PIVX. And so it's being traded a lot more. Taking a look, this is their website here, fast, secure, private transactions. I like, the branding behind it. I like what they're doing. I think this is a good project. So moving on to some of the other ones here. This was this Quash one we just looked at. So still, this one is the thing is just finding an exchange you can get into it. Right now, that might be a little bit of a problem. These are very, these are exchanges I just haven't had the opportunity to really check out. But if you want to get into that coin, it's a little bit more difficult. And part of it is just catering more to an Asian market. Golem, this has more distribution and has always kind of traditionally done pretty well. So a lot of different markets to pick this up in. Z Classic, the other privacy coin that we were looking at, $108. And this one is, I think it really kind of started off with a rocky start when it forked. It was kind of an early fork of, so the markets that we've seen right here in the last, let's take a look, zoom in the last month. So we've seen it kind of plateau in price here. So coming up really in the beginning of January, this is the January 4th, January 5th timeframe, we really come up in value, and it's really been holding that even as the volumes have kind of been puttering out. This is offered in a lot more exchanges, and being that it's a privacy coin, I like it. So Bittrex, Cryptopia, Coin Exchange. So there's 3 exchanges there that I have accounts with that I think would be good to pick up this at the prices kind of that we're seeing right now. This could be one, once it starts to get added to some other exchanges, may do really well. Let's take a look at the next one. This is Bytum. This is my next level, kind of my smaller, if I were to have another 5 that I would add to the list, these are the ones I'm kind of looking at. I'm gonna maybe put a very small position in a lot of these coins and just see how they do over time. This one is right now a little bit harder to get into. Qcoin, OKEX, Cryptopia, hit BTC. Well, it's actually been, so it's got about 4 exchanges there, decent exchanges that you can pick this up in. The market cap, 350 million, so it's picked up quite a bit. Taking a look at the volume here, it's started to really come up here in the last little bit. Let's take a look. This is their website. So let's see a little bit. They've got a video. Asian team. Looks like it's centered in Hong Kong. Chinese calligraphy, but it's offered on a lot of different exchanges. So, but let's take a look at this next one. This one has been the best performing one of the day. This Dent coin up about 40%. So it really, really just corrected. As you saw here in the last, let's take a look at the last 7 days. You know, it had a pretty high market valuation, and that was after we had just seen a peak, and it really dipped here. Just in the last little bit, just kind of really crashed, and then we've seen it really correct after that as volumes kind of returned back into this coin. So Qcoin, Ether Delta hit BTC. So most of the activity is on this coin rail. So let's take a look. Coin rail. It's the #1 coin in CoinRail right now. It's a Korean exchange. Right there you can see the KR. So a lot of problems getting into some of these Korean exchanges, unfortunately. But that one is one to keep on the radar. Maybe wait for this one to come down a little bit, maybe correct a little bit more. As you kind of seen, it's had a little bit of a downtrend here, so maybe wait for this thing to correct. But I think this is a really good one to get into. This next one, Nebulous. This is an interesting project as well. Has had some pretty consistent growth here over the last, 3 months or so. Let's take like a 3-month history. I mean, it's gone from 67 million in terms of its market cap to today about 336. So this is one that's come up quite a bit. Let's take a look and see where it's trading. Hyobi, OKEX, Ether Delta. So take a quick peek at their website. Their website was kind of interesting. Decentralized search framework. I really kind of more like to just kind of take a peek at the website just to kind of get a feel for it, but I'm looking more to see if it's worth something to invest in. But really, if you're trying to pick this one up, OKEX is probably the best one that I'm looking at in terms of ways to get in. iOS token. This one had really come up here just recently. We saw that January 25th. I kind of mentioned that on my streams, and really popped. It's really corrected. It's been in a downtrend ever since, but it's starting to bottom out here. And taking a look at where the market is. Binance, Hyobi, most likely getting added to Binance had a lot to do with that. Binance, as soon as they add a coin, they tend to shoot up in value. It's much easier to get into that coin, much easier to get into it than maybe some of these other exchanges. Like I can't get an account with Hyobi. OKEX, I haven't really transacted much with that. Qcoin, so Qcoin has kind of been an earlier one we've been looking at. So take a look at their website. Scalable, searchable blockchain that actually works. So you can see, we have some nice infographics here. Kind of avatar figures. So you got apparently a big team staying. So moving on to the next one. This next one here, Syndicator, again, was one that kind of pumped in the market. Come up and peaked just recently here, January 23rd. But you saw these just huge surge in volumes on these on January 20th, January 23rd, January 24th timeframe. So it really had come up January 7th, January 8th, had really kind of dipped back down, and then we saw a huge surge in volume. So where this is being traded, Binance, hit BTC, Mercatox. So 3 decent sized exchanges. I mean, I haven't really gotten into Mercatox much yet, but this is one that I'm probably going to end up getting an account with. or I already have one. I just got to figure out my login and stuff, and maybe get into that a little bit more. I've seen Mercatox trending a little bit more in terms of the exchanges. So sometimes those can be better entry points to get into some of these different coins. And so like that's, or better ways to sell them. So you can see here, if you're wanting to sell this coin, the highest prices you're getting are in Mercatox. So let's take a look. This is their website, Hybrid Intelligence for Effective Asset Management. Got a little video here.
Imagine you have access to the collective mind of everyone on the planet.
Syndicator.
This collective consciousness is enhanced by artificial intelligence. Imagine the symbiosis of human and machine.
Oh, this is like a minute long.
What would you do with it? We make it a reality. We are Syndicator. Syndicator.
We are Syndicator.
Where we combine the collective intelligence of financial analysts, data scientists, traders, and investors. This ecosystem provides a more efficient approach and valuable predictive analytics for asset management.
So
everyone can monetize individual.
So that's Syndicator. So it's an interesting one. I'm not going to go through the whole video, but Ethos. The next one we're looking at, this one's a little bit harder to get into. I guess I take that back. Binance, Coin Exchange, Hits BTC. There's three goods, and Live Coin. I must have been confusing this with one of the other ones. So there's actually 4 decent exchanges to get into it. It's just most of the volume right now is in Binance. I guess that's the way I was looking at it, is basically if you're looking at the volume here, that's 97, 98% of the volumes in Binance. So it's centered in one exchange, and that's probably somewhat reflective in the charts here of perhaps it was really kind of trending pretty low, not a whole lot of volume in trading. And then once it got added to Binance, perhaps right here in January, you saw it really take off in its market cap. And again, that's kind of why these coins have a lot of potential of just holding in like small positions on a lot of these coins and then waiting for something like this. And then this would essentially, once you see this big rise, that may be a good time to cap some of your profits and maybe just lower your position in that coin a little bit. Pillar, this is another one that's been trending. We've seen a little bit coming up here since January 4th. January 2nd is when this had really kind of taken off in the market. Where's this being traded? Either Delta, Cryptopia, Hit BTC. So this one is starting to pick up. I think $1.36, is a good price getting into this project right now. It is, I may see this fall off a little bit. I may want to see this fall off maybe for another day or two before I get in, or just put a lower limit position on your trade there. But let's take a look. This is their website. So going through, this is, see a little bit peek of their website here. So I guess they're in London and Switzerland. So, and let's move on to the next one. CryptoNex. This one has really kind of steadily been increasing here. If we're taking a look at the markets where it's being traded, Hit BTC, Yobit. So 99.9% of that in Hit BTC. So really, that's when I'm looking at some of these that, maybe taking a very small position might be one thing, because if it gets added to an exchange, it could be one that really takes off. But when you see most of the activity in one exchange, it's very susceptible to, pump and dump schemes, all kinds of different things. It just doesn't have enough really liquidity in the market to have a whole lot of legitimacy. The more and more centralized you see some of the currencies, the more they are open to manipulation. So sometimes that can be a good thing if you cap some of your trades. Like you may see activity really just flow into the coin for a particular time period for whatever reason, and that can be a good time to kind of cap your trades. Syscoin, this one's been around quite a while. It's traded in a lot of different exchanges: Bittrex, Poloniex, Livecoin. So some bigger exchanges, and it's trading quite a bit. So this one has always kind of been one. This is like my small position coins. These are ones that I think it's good to have a little bit in this coin, but I don't see this one as one that really explodes in value per se. But you never know. Like, I mean, you saw it really kind of take off here. What was this? June 22nd. Its BTC value had just really flown through the roof. And we've seen it come down a little bit, but yeah, Syscoin is a good one. This is a kind of like an Asian coin. When I was looking at this, you can take a look. This is their website. So it's Chinese, and it's saying it's a data and credit information service available to everyone. It's like some sort of traceable data transaction credit service. So I think they're trying to do this to maybe legitimize themselves in some of the Asian markets. If we're taking a look at where this is being traded right now, Binance is the one that you're able to pick this up in. BitZ and this QBTC is a Chinese exchange. So it's one that I'm basically putting on the sidelines. Like, I'm taking a mental note of this, and I want to see how this performs in the market. But when you're looking at the list I've built below, that's kind of where I'm putting some of these coins. Same thing with this next one, Salt. Well, actually, I had this in my small position. Like, I think this might be good to have like a small position in, because we've seen it actually come up a couple different times in the market. Right now, it looks like it may be a good buy-in time. I could see this coming up, maybe to where it was at previously. So, and it's being traded in a lot of different exchanges. So Huobi, Bittrex, Binance, Upbit, OKEX. So a lot of different ways to get into this coin. Moving on, this is Bitcore, BTC, BTX. This one is a sideline coin that I put, like, I just don't really know enough about it, and there's not a whole lot of trading. BitZ, Cryptopia, HitBTC. There's just not a whole lot of trading with this right now, and it's not really offered in a whole lot of places. I don't really know much about it. It's come up 11% today. So these coins can perform really, really well in this, and a lot of that has to do with the valuation of BTC. So I guess it's up 1.63% to the value of BTC. So it's up a little bit. Taking a look at Aeon. So this is one of my top 5 coins that I've been kind of talking about. I like the privacy coin element to it. I like the buy-in price right now, as we've seen it kind of come up in the market. We've seen a little bit of volume, and I think it's poised for a breakout. It's open in a lot of different exchanges: Binance, Qcoin, Ether, Delta, mainly Binance and Qcoin. But this one looks like a good one, so we can take a look. This was their website here. Aeon is too difficult to mine with a smaller, older community. That's good to know. Thank you. Red flags on Yuko coins can be cheese, short, white, yellow, paper, team list of my thoughts only. Okay. Strong on Dent. Yeah, I mean, Dent's been the best performer today. It's just harder to get into. Or, well, I guess I'm thinking of another coin. Qcoin, OKEX, HitBTC. So it's just being traded in CoinRail. Let's look at Factom. Factom is at, this one's been around for a while, dating back to 2015. I've traded this in the past. It fluctuates different times in the market. It's been fairly stable, I would say. Poloniex, Bittrex, Cryptopia, Upbit. Most of that activity in BitZ. That's kind of interesting, actually. So, let's see here. Let's take a look at their website real quick. There's their website. So it's kind of their practical blockchain solution for seeking collaborative platform to preserve and ensure and validate digital assets. So this is a little bit more of an industrial look, I guess you could say. So let's take a look at the next one. This I'm interested in this Revain. This one's really just recently come on my radar after just really kind of pumping. It's like boom, it hit. What did it hit? See if I can time that up. Almost like basically $500 million in market cap. So I was like, what is this coin? So looking into it a little bit. This is their website. It's a review platform, blockchain. Join the social army. First trustworthy review platform built with blockchain technology. Okay, so they have it available on a lot of different exchanges. It's been publicized. It's got some. So it's a transparency coin, apparently. So it looks like an interesting project backed by gold. Okay. And moving on to the next one. This one has been trending really high. Power Ledger. So this one was basically on the 80th to or the 81st to 100th list that I did the other day. It's recently really come up in valuation, about 8% to BTC. So its price has really come up. This one is being traded, a lot of different exchanges. This is one that's really going to do well over this year. I think this one is going to be one to put maybe put a larger position into. It's just right now it's being traded in a lot of different exchanges. The volumes are starting to come up. I think this is a really good time to get in. Let's take a look at see if I can pull up their website. Well, so take a look. Pretty big size development team, publications, social. So I like Power Ledger. And the last one here, I guess we already looked at this one, Golem. I guess we already looked at this one. But yeah, those were some of the markets that I wanted to look at, and I gave you guys kind of my list below. And one of the things I'm going to be looking at doing is just putting a small position into the ones I kind of liked in that list. I keep a mental note of some of those ones. One I'm kind of maybe not getting into right now: CryptoNext Pillar, GX Shares, Ethos, and Bitcore. Those ones I'll probably hold off on for right now. I want to see a little bit more of how they perform over the next week or so. The other ones all look good to take small positions in, with a little bit of a larger position in Pivx, C Classic, Aeon, Quash, and Golem. Quash is an interesting one. Who is Carlos? I can't stop watching memes of him. I posted some music videos on my page. They don't have nearly the amount of views as some of those memes have. It's hilarious. Oh man, Carlos. Carlos doesn't even know how famous he is. Yeah, he's over here in Asia apparently. There's a few guys that are over here in Asia that I'm starting to follow a little bit more. If I known that Tony Bay is going to be in Singapore, I probably would have. If I was still there, I probably would have gone and done that. I mean, I just had my whole office and trading things, you know, all set up. I had all, if you guys remember, I had all of this set up in Malaysia like 2 weeks ago before all of this crap happened. So I just got this thing set up. So right now I'm just kind of getting into some different exchanges, kind of getting some different things set up, getting into different coins. And then what I'm going to be doing is teaching people. So I think that's important for people, just getting a little more education. How I'm going to do that with kind of the legal climate in terms of, you know, I'm not sure exactly how they're going to treat that here in Vietnam. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that, Sound of Space. It feels good getting set up. Once I get this other computer set up, I want to get a computer set up behind me. So like if I get someone here, like I'll tell him to do some different things, and like I can just look over his shoulder and just make sure he's doing it right. And I can still be doing my thing on my computer. I think it's going to be good. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to do some video too. Like I can show you guys like how I'm teaching the Vietnamese to do different things. It's just, you know, I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit in terms of like, you know, what's going to be allowable. But I'll see what I can do, and you know, if I can film like me coaching and teaching these guys, you know, I think that would be really interesting to see. Did BitConnect X sell out today? Any of you guys know? Let's take a look. Log it into my account here. Bear with me one sec. Sold out. Yeah, keeps selling out. See there. So BCC at $6. You buying BCCX? Technically, I'm not supposed to. So that's about all I'm going to say on that. Are you still considering doing a lending platform? So how about a privacy lending platform with a privacy coin and all the lending takes place via auto-executed smart contracts? Yeah, there's, you know, there would be a lot of interesting ways to set it up. I guess you start getting into something where you're doing something that's maybe going around government controls, and they're going to want you to be more transparent. How transparent is a good question, and that's, I think, what you start running into. I think that's why I'm looking at getting into a lot of different smaller positions with all of these different coins, is because right now you're seeing crackdowns with like lending platforms, like you're seeing regulatory, you know, people come after lending platforms. But I think the next thing you're going to start seeing is you're going to see them coming after, you know, anything crypto, the entry points, getting in and out of crypto primarily, you know, but, you know, there's going to be different ways to kind of get around that. And then at what point do they start like looking at getting into going after exchanges or other platforms? I mean, that's what you're seeing, you know, BitConnect X right now is their development team and everything is really focused on the BitConnect X project from what I've heard. So the exchange may be a little bit of a, you know, you maybe don't have the same kind of regulatory agencies that are going to be cracking down on an exchange per se. I mean, they still have, like you saw the one in Russia. The US went after, what was it, BTCE, I believe it was, in Russia, where they shut that one down, where they were basically trading to the US dollar. So, I mean, if you're not trading in the US dollar, essentially you're seeing more opportunities where there may be ways of kind of getting around government rulings and whatnot legally. Um, I don't know enough about that really, but I'm interested in kind of working with some people that at least are wanting to be in the right on some of that stuff. Like I get some of the advice and they're like, oh yeah, you just do it or whatever, and I'm like, no, I need more information than that. I did some research for taxes and realized that BitConnect was offering the exact same thing as a corporate bond, a type of debit security, thus the SEC 50 SEC. Okay. That's interesting to know. Let's take a look at Litecoin real quick. That's, so the major coins, and some of the things I've been looking at, it may just be better to kind of take a smaller position in the major coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple. But looking at Litecoin, as I've kind of mentioned, it's always been at 0.01 BTC price, and it tends to be one that's like a transactional coin. So it tends to just kind of like progressively kind of go down. Like it pumps in the market at different times. Right now it seems to be trading a little bit higher. I mean, it's up 34% today, so it's up a lot today. You can see the BTC price is 0.0185, and the most expensive markets, but basically about 0.018 is kind of where you're seeing the price primarily. But as you can see, Litecoin is traded everywhere, 328 different exchanges. Very popular one as a transactional coin, and we've seen it. Let's take a look at the last month. Let's just really come up here. So, I mean, it pumps at certain times in the market. It just really kind of comes up and plateaus, and then just kind of progressively, this is what you've seen, just a very, very slow, precipitous kind of decline, and then really kind of dipped here, and then that was probably a buying signal for a lot of people, like that was and you saw, volumes really coming in. Where was that volume? GDAX to USD. So people getting into USD via GDAX, OKEX, and Bitfinex to USD, USDT. So yeah, market volume on Litecoin's crazy. I mean, let's take a look at the dominance in terms of trading. I mean, it's let's see if I can bring this up. I mean, it's currently at like 4% of the market. So let's take a look at this, just kind of the market volumes. So Litecoin in the 7th position, about 4%. EOS, 2%. A lot of that in BitHum, kind of moving up the list. Status, this is interesting that we're seeing as much volume. All that's really in Korea. Look at that. It's like all in Korea, right in 1 billion. Wow, ton of trading. Cardano, huge amount of trading in Upbit. 1.3 billion. Ripple, trading pretty high in the Korean markets, as you can see, Korean and Japanese markets. Like, it's all Asian right now in terms of the volume. Tether trading pretty high. I think a lot of people kind of getting in and out of the crypto space. This has been their one entry point, is through Tether. Ethereum volumes have come down a little bit. We were seeing this trending a little bit higher, maybe closer to 18-20%. In terms of volume, we saw it really rising, and not a whole lot in any of the major pairs, just a lot of distribution. And then of course Bitcoin, now coming down to 30%. We were seeing Bitcoin at around you know, anywhere between 33 and 35%. It's just continuing to come down in the market in terms of the volume of trading. It tends not to be a very good coin to go in between the exchanges. It's more best used as more like a store of value, I would say, like if you are trading the alt currency market within a different exchange, because it's, you know, usually within the different exchanges, they're not, I guess the transactions are done a little bit differently in-house. Take a look at the market. The market has been, you know, it was a extremely red day the other day, and it's really kind of come up. You know, Bitcoin's kind of bounced a little bit up. You know, Bitcoin's up about 8%. The whole market as a whole is really, you know, kind of risen. But taking a look at, let's take a look at the Bitcoin price.